Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry if my face is a little red. I did a face mask last night and it burned my skin and made it extremely red, so that's besides the point. Actually, it's kind of an important point because the face mask I used was actually recalled. So I'm gonna put a picture on the screen of what the face mask was. So if you own this face mask, don't use it. Please bring it back to the store and get a refund so you don't burn your skin off. Anyways, today we are doing a tutorial on the vertical wave bracelet, which looks like this, and these are the ones that I made. This is an alpha pattern, so you're welcome for doing alpha patterns. I know everyone always requests alpha patterns. And this pattern is also perfect for using ombre color shifting thread or tie-dye thread. So to the girl that keeps asking me to do a video using tie-dye thread, now is your time to shine, girl. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Alright guys, so to make this bracelet, you're going to need some embroidery floss. You need to pick out 3 colors, 2 colors to be your background colors. I'm using this color shifting gray to black one and then just a burgundy, and then 1 color to be your base strings. This color will not show up on your bracelet, so it could be any color you want. So for your base strings, since this pattern is an alpha pattern, you can really do as many base strings as you want. I obviously would do no less than 2, but just know that the more strings you do, then the thicker your bracelet will be, and the less strings you do, the thinner your bracelet will be. I'm doing 4 base strings here, but like I said, you can do as many as you want, and I'm also not cutting a full wingspan's length of these strings either. Since these strings are just base strings, we're not actually going to use them to knot the bracelet at all. These strings will not be getting any shorter, so they only need to be about the length of your arm, and that should be good. So once all your base strings are cut, just go ahead and fold those strings in half, and now we're going to get our background colors. So I'm using this like ombre thread, and you're going to need a lot of this string, so I just use the entire skein when making it. I don't cut any of it. And that's the same case for the other background color. We need 2. I'm using this like cranberry red color, so I'm just pulling some string out so I can start the bracelet to make it, but I'm keeping the rest of it like in the skein itself, so I don't have to like keep cutting and keep adding more string. I'm just using the entire thing all at once. And if you're going to do the stitched loop, this is kind of how I did mine. I just took a little tail from each of the background colors and looped it on alternating sides. If that makes any sense, it's kind of easier just to show you guys what I'm doing, but obviously you don't have to start the bracelet like this, but this is just in case you guys wanted to do that, and this is how I did it. So once your bracelet is started and taped down, you're going to want to pull either of the background strings out from the base strings and have those separate, and you just have your base strings, and you can go ahead and start on either side. It doesn't really matter. I'm starting on the left. And just take your entire skein of your background color and just do forward knots all the way across on all of your base strings, not the background string. Do not do any knots over top of the background string on the other side, just on your base strings. So as I'm finishing up doing all of my forward knots on all my base strings, I'm going to not do any knots over top of the second background color. I'm just going to leave that out and just don't do any knots over top of that one. So now I'm going to use my same background color that I just did all those forward knots with, and then just do backward knots all the way back across with all my base strings, again leaving out my second background color, not doing any knots with that one. Alright, and once you finish doing backward knots, you should now have your 2 background colors on either side. And now you're going to go to the other side, so I'm going to go into my right side now and take my background string and just start grabbing my base strings and doing backward knots this time all the way across. Again, once I reach the other side, I'm going to leave out my other background color and I'm not going to do any knots over top of it. And I'm going to take my same background color that I just did my knots with and just go all the way back across, doing forward knots this time. And yeah, that's literally just this bracelet, so I'm just going to go back to my left side now and using that background color and just doing forward knots, then backward knots, then doing my other side and doing backward knots, then forward knots, and just going back and forth until the bracelet's long enough and you have your bracelet. Alrighty guys, that was the tutorial. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. All of my social medias will be linked in the description box. You guys can go ahead and follow me. I've been trying to actually post like bracelets that I'm not only making on YouTube, because that's what I used to do, is just like only post the bracelets from YouTube, but it's like you've already seen them because you just follow me, okay? We can be friends. I love you guys so much and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.